Hello, everyone. Have you ever seen a small dog with really long, floppy ears and a bark that sounds way too big for its little body? If you have, you've probably met a Beagle. Today, we're going to learn all about this super popular dog breed and find out what makes them so special. So here's our plan. First, we'll cover the basics. What is a Beagle? Then, we'll look at how to recognize one and dig into their really interesting history. After that, we'll talk about why they're such great friends to people. And finally, we'll see some of the important jobs they do. Okay, so first things first, what exactly is a Beagle? Well, their name actually gives us a big clue. Some people think Beagle comes from an old French word that means open throat, and that makes perfect sense for a dog with such a loud bark, right? Others think it comes from an old word for small. Either way, it fits. They're small hounds with big voices.
Now here's a very important word for understanding Beagles. They're called scent hounds. That one word tells you almost everything you need to know. It's all about their super powerful nose.
So what does scent hound actually mean? Well, think of it this way. Some dogs hunt by what they can see. But Beagles, they hunt by what they can smell. They can follow a scent for a long, long time, and they get super focused. That's what makes them such amazing hunting partners.
All right, so we know they hunt with their nose, but what do they look like? Beagles have a few features that make them really easy to spot once you know what you're looking for.
Okay, so here are the four main things to look for. First, those famous big floppy ears. Fun fact, those ears actually help pull smells from the ground up to their nose. Cool, right? Next, they have a kind of square-shaped mouth, or muzzle, and their coat is short and usually has three colors: white, tan, and black. Finally, look for a long tail that curves up, often with a white tip, so hunters could see it in the fields.
Now here's something that gets a lot of people confused. They see a Beagle and think it might be a Basset Hound. And I get it, they do look a little bit alike, but they're definitely different breeds, and it's actually pretty easy to tell them apart.
Let's look at them side by side. The two biggest differences are their weight and their legs. A Basset Hound is much, much heavier, sometimes double the weight of a Beagle. And check out the legs. A Beagle's legs are longer and straighter, while Basset Hounds are famous for being very low to the ground on their short, stout legs.
So where did these little dogs come from? Well, their story is really, really old. You might be surprised to learn that their history goes back more than 2,000 years.
This timeline gives us a quick look. We know that dogs that were a lot like Beagles were around over 2,000 years ago. But the modern Beagle we see today was really developed in England in the 1800s. And now, they're so popular that the American Kennel Club officially has two different sizes of Beagles.
But why were they bred to be so small? Well, that was on purpose. Years ago in England, breeders wanted a hunting dog that they could follow on foot without needing a horse. They even bred them to be small enough that you could carry one in a big pocket. Pretty amazing, huh? So even though they started as hunting dogs, most Beagles today are just happy family pets. Let's talk about why so many people love having them as a loyal friend.
And just how popular are they? Well, get this. In 2012, the American Kennel Club said the Beagle was the #4 most popular dog breed in the entire United States. Out of hundreds of different breeds, they're right there at the top. And for very good reason.
A huge part of their popularity is just their personality. Beagles are super loving, and they love being with people and other dogs. They're usually pretty calm when they're inside, but they're always ready to play. Outside, though, that hunting instinct kicks in. And a little warning, when a Beagle finds a smell it likes, it can be very stubborn about following it.
Another reason people love them is their size. Here's a fun way to think about it. A Beagle is about the size of a big loaf of bread. This smaller size means they can live happily in all kinds of homes, even apartments that might be too small for a bigger dog.
Okay, so we know they're great pets, but many Beagles are still hard-working dogs with important jobs. That incredible nose we keep talking about, it's just too valuable not to use.
In their traditional job, hunting, they're fantastic partners. It's a simple three-step process. First, the Beagle uses its amazing nose to find a rabbit's trail. Second, it gets the rabbit to run out from where it's hiding. And third, its loud bark helps the hunter follow along. But here is a very cool, modern job for the Beagle's nose. You might see them working in airports with the police. They use that amazing sense of smell to find illegal things in luggage. And because they look so friendly and cute, they don't scare travelers like a bigger dog might. This makes them perfect for working in busy public places. So, from an ancient hunter to a modern-day companion, The Beagle is truly an amazing dog, but it's really important to remember that having any dog is a big responsibility. I love this quote. It says it all. A dog can be your best friend, but you need to be its best friend too. It's a great reminder that these wonderful animals depend on us for everything, for care, for time, and for love.